Hey there, it's Marvina, and I wanted to welcome you to my Angel Q&A. Today, in this little ghost busting video, I'm going over how you can incorporate using the elements to clear out negative energies out of your house. We're going to focus on using the element of air today. So the quality of air can be a really powerful way to serve as a cleansing agent in your home. One of the ways that I like to do that is open up the windows in my house, especially to create like a crosswind, and that helps to lift stale energy out of your house that might have be holding on to ugly thought forms. And the reason that you want to lift out those ugly thought forms or just negative energy or negative thought forms is because if you get enough negative thought forms that have gathered up in your house, then it serves as a way that negative entities can then attach themselves to your house, to your furniture, to even to you personally. So when we think about using the element of air, it is a way to shift the energy. Just think about winds, like they're blowing through the house and they're carrying off negative energies or negative ways of thinking, things that are stale, that are no longer serving a purpose in our lives. And sometimes we think that because something is just, it's not useful anymore, that it's not going to hurt us. But really, I don't feel like that's the truth. I think that whenever we're holding on to old ways of thinking, living, doing, handling our life, that it kind of keeps us from being able to move to higher levels of consciousness and to keep our vibrancy strong and our energy field like high frequency. And that's what protects us from a psychic attack or from ugly entities being able to latch on to us. So that's one of the reasons that we want to both symbolically let go of things within ourselves, like old belief systems, old philosophies or habits or ways of like running our life, and anything in our house that is no longer really relevant or serving a purpose or something that we love or that we really desire to have in our house. It's better to find it a new home if it is no longer viable. If it's not something beautiful that you love to look at, then that's serving a purpose. But if it's art that is icky or just not working for you, it's more beneficial to find it a new home, because icky energy can gather around it and create like a speed bump in our life, or just block life force energy from being able to flow to us. So I feel like fresh air and fresh energy is so important for our house to be healthy, to be vibrant, and to carry in the qualities of life, the qualities that we need in order to sustain life. And so I just think it's good every once in a while to open up your windows and get fresh air. My husband is one of those guys that could seriously have the air conditioner on like, almost 12 months a year. I think we shut it off for like January and February, and then it's back on. But there are times where we need to open up those windows and just let fresh air get in. And it can be just really, really clearing and very, very powerful for us. Another way that we can use the element of air in order to move negative ghosts or entities is to create a smudge mixture from high vibrational herbs and all of the different members of the plant world. They carry different qualities. Like some of them carry qualities of healing for us. Some of them can bring qualities to help us clear our mind. Others can be medicinal, and still others can help to bring clarity of purpose for our soul journey. It's so important that we stay aligned with what our soul came here to do. And I think it's just as important that we work with our own angels, our own spirit guides, and use our instincts, our own inner insight to help us make the shifts necessary as we come to different challenges, like when our house may feel like there's a ghost that's took up residence, or that there's an evil entity that's taken space in your kitchen, or there's a poltergeist, or your child can't sleep at night because they're afraid of their bedroom. So we need to learn to use our own insight. And there's times where we want to collaborate with someone else, or to work with an angel or an archangel, or we might need to dig a little deeper. But I feel like it's important that we kind of follow our own instincts about what needs to happen to either protect our personal space or protect our house. But I use my smudge mixture almost on a daily basis. And I have a whole video that is about how to put this together, but I'm going to tell you in a nutshell that you want to have a container that has a lid on it, I think, for the best results. But you can use a container that doesn't have a lid. But I like to use the lid because that's how we're snuffing out the fire once we light our mixture, and then we create our smoke. And that's how we get our element of air that's carrying all of these qualities of these herbs. And so what I put in my smudge mixture for clearing entities or negative energies out, I use white sage, like the desert sage, and then dried cedar. And I like to put in some real high vibrational herbs like the sweetgrass. And this is what sweetgrass looks like for those of you that don't know. It's like braided. And I add in lavender as well. So when you're fixing up your mixture, you just want to think about using a balance of each one of those elements, like of the sage, the cedar, the lavender, and the sweetgrass. And then you use your fire stick right here and you light up your mixture. I'm not going to because my allergies are already wound up. And then after you get all of the different herbs burning, you use your lid to snuff it out, and then you open your lid, and then your herbs will be burning. And then what I like to use is a feather, and I don't have my feather here with me, so it's in the other room. But you can use like a fan of feathers, or just find one big feather. And I like to use the turkey feather because in the Native American mysteries, it's a bird that functions well both in the earth and in the air. So it's kind of like a bridger between the worlds, but it is a strong feather. There are some feathers that are very fragile and delicate, and you might use those for different things, like maybe healing, like with hands-on healing or Reiki treatments or things like that. But for a something that you're moving negative entities or ghosts or negative energies, I like to use a really strong feather. So you would think about the turkey or the hawk, eagle. Um, I think that if you're not Native American, then you need to have like a card to use the eagle feathers with your spiritual practice. But the turkey is a great choice, and it's easy to find them, and they are really good feathers, and they are of the element of air. So you use them with your smudge mixture, and you can take this, and if you're using it for your personal body, then you bring in the smoke to yourself. And I like to drift it over the top of my head at least 4 times. And I also, if I feel like I have a lot of icky energy around me, or I feel maybe I've like experienced a psychic attack, or for whatever reason, maybe even being sick, then I will put my smoking pot on the floor, and I will just stand over the top of it and let that smoke mixture just drift up all around my body. And a lot of times you'll see, if you go out into the West, in the Native Americans, they will take their smoke mixture and they'll put it like under their t-shirt, just hold the t-shirt out in front of them and then behind, and just let that smoke kind of drift up the chakra centers. And it helps to clear out whatever energy that is negative, that is allowing for a ugly entity or an ugly thought form to be able to kind of get into your personal space. It is a great tool to shift the energy either out of you or out of your house. So when I use the smudge mixture and the element of air to clear my house of negative thought forms or icky entities, then I just walk around the house with it smoking, and make sure that you have like a washcloth in your hand, or a pot holder, or something that you can protect your hand, because this will get really hot, especially if you have a big house and you've got to go throughout your entire house, and you just direct the smoke mixture into the corners of the house, under the furniture, throughout the whole house. And if you have personal objects, for instance, your mother gave you a photograph of your uncle and you hang it up, I would run a lot of smoke over that. Whatever is new that's coming in, you want to make sure that you smoke it really well. So then if there's some negative influences that are connected with that photograph, with the frame, with the materials that are in the picture, that it transforms that icky energy. So there's not like a place where an entity can kind of get a grip into your house. Antiques are notorious for carrying ugly energy, or just negative energy, or depression, or sadness. So anytime that you drag home an antique, then you want to get or even like a piece of used jewelry, put it over the smoke. So I've got my lid on now, but just hold it over the smoke, and allow the transformational qualities of the air combined with the herbs and the fire energy, is like the little kick there, but all together they help to lift up and transform whatever negativity is either attached to you, or attached to your antique or your new jewelry, or whatever it is that you brought home. You can use incense as well as a way to kind of lift the energies and refreshen the template in your house. There's some really wonderful incenses that can kind of set up protective qualities around your room, like jasmine. Sandalwood is really good. I love patchouli, but there are so many options that we can use. I feel like it's really important to always use the best quality incense and herbs that you can, because if you have incense that is made with poor quality um, ingredients, then it can't do anything of a blessing for you. So use good quality herbs and incenses, and you're going to get better results. Other things that incorporate the element of air to help serve as a little bit of a protective energy for your house, or to kind of block negative energy, are things like flags that are outside, even like wind socks, or those little whirly bird things, whirligigs. They can serve to redirect energy. And there are different places on Earth that there's nothing to break up energy. And so if you have like a line of really aggressive winds and there's nothing to kind of redistribute that energy or break it up or buffer, then you need to set up some strong measures around your house and your property to help protect you from that. So that might be like trees are great protectors, and they can help to shift a like a hard line of winds from just barreling down on your house, and that can really be destructive. Of course, we know here in Texas, straight line winds or tornadoes are nothing to sneeze about. It's like you need to really pay attention. But we cannot have vibrant templates of energy in our house for us to be able to be creative and productive and healthy if we are really exposed to open areas like that. So take measures to kind of tweak the template around your house. Maybe large boulders or stones can do that, or planting trees in the direction where you get most of your wind from, or using other elements like wind socks or lights to kind of redirect things, and so that your house is not so bombarded and it's not so vulnerable to icky energies. And anytime it's vulnerable to that, then it makes it easier for evil entities or ghosts, or lower level entities or energies to take up space in your house, in your home. And it's not desirable, and it's very hard for us to use the element of earth in a good way. So when everything is balanced and we have access to what we need, we can draw from the element of earth to be creative and to use our imagination and to really work with the dream world and have the wherewithal, because we're balanced in the other areas, of being able to bring those creative concepts, bring them down and ground them into this dimension, into the earth. So it's like when it's good, but if it's wonky, then it can be very destructive for us and make it difficult for us to feel good, to use our naturalness and our the essence of who we are, to be creative and to do what we came here to do. So negative entities and ghosts and negative energies, they're not desirable, but you know, a lot of times the to us, and we're always going to have different types of challenges, but they they force us to use our creativity, and sometimes we have to kind of grab another gear or a higher level of consciousness in order to overcome whatever is going on that's not working for us in our house or in our personal energy field. So you'll know if you are not being able to make your dreams come true, you'll know that you need to do some type of work, clearing work, and you might be able to meditate with your own guides and angels to get a little bit of ideas on what needs to happen, or you might need to take stronger measures and do like some of the soul clearing work that I do, or maybe do ceremony, or do some other things. But I feel like it's a part of our own self-mastery for us to kind of discern things are out of balance. What can I do to help put them back into balance and make some adjustments? So I hope these ideas helped you. And if you feel like you need some more support or help in learning how to work with your own angels, and they are God's gift to us to help us navigate our journey. But I have a free angel connection ebook, and I'll put the link in the description below if you want to check it out. But I do have a lot of resources in there, like meditations that help you to create a closer relationship with your angels. And I also have some protective prayers with the archangels, and just ways that you can work with your own crew. So I hope that this helps, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks a lot. I'm Marvina.